Hello and good day, gentlemen and lady or ladies. I have a little exchange here from the Friction server. It's like dog decided to make a syllogism again. At least this time it wasn't 87,000 premises. It was just like 3. Now, I handily dealt with it, but it seems that dog was not willing to reply and text, and a bit of an echo chamber situation going on in the VC there. The reigning champion, Jack Gangstrike. You might call him a paper champ because he's like pretty much Captain Ahab hunting the white whale, the weak dark dolphins. Dark dolphins? Or how do you say it? Dawkins. Alright. Yeah, always hunting the white whale, but doesn't like to debate serious, genial, friendly, educated, formidable theists. So, here's the exchange. This is part of Dog Syllogism, or some reformulation by Philip Muller, who's clearly smarter than dogs. If God exists, God is the perfect ex nihilo creator of our universe. Our universe is imperfect. The actions of a perfect being cannot decrease the degree of perfection of the world. If God exists, then, prior to all creation, the world is perfect. I think all classical theists would agree that the world, or we should probably say the word reality, because people might mix up world and creation. All reality, if God is by himself or without creation, is perfect. And it is infinitely perfect, because God himself is the infinite good. It's infinitely good world, or reality. And there's nothing that can add or subtract quantitatively to a perfectly quantitatively good world. Or in the case of God, certainly not a numerically quantitative composition. It's simply an absolute, infinite, unbounded good. And it's content in and of itself, and whatever its nature is. So let's go further here. My first response was, so what's the problem with creating inherently less good things? For all things that God creates are inherently less good than God himself, because they are finite, they are created, they are imperfect in that sense. So what's the problem with creating such inherently less good things if those things happen to be uniquely and only realizable alongside of their own imperfections? And the example I first gave was a fine, finite, tasty chocolate soda. Now, obviously, God doesn't have a mouth or taste buds, so he cannot enjoy a fine, cold chocolate soda. But he may see that that is a good thing, despite the imperfection of being finite and contingent and created and material and so on. So, although this chocolate soda is neither additive nor subtractive of the infinite goodness that is God, God may have reasons for choosing to make good things that are only realizable without being perfect. And there was no reply forthcoming, so I continued on. Another example would be the unique goodness of an echo chamber. Some people like to talk in a server that's like an echo chamber. So that would be a possible good thing to experience. No, God cannot have that, because as an omniscient being, even Trinitarianly, he's still sharing the same omniscient knowledge with his other persons in the Trinity, and there are no other people around to exclude from your echo chamber. So if God wanted to create an echo chamber like Friction, then that's a sort of unique good that's only realizable alongside of its imperfection, such as dog. So I go on. Nothing is quantitatively additive or subtractive of God's infinite goodness, but there are qualitative goods that can only be finite creations. Why can't he desire to make such things? Why is that a problem? No response. You can create categories of goodness, which, though imperfect, might be worth creating, and again, not realizable if God is sans creation. Another example I gave, the experience of surprise, right? The experience of surprise is a great thing in some ways. God cannot experience surprise in his own being. So he may say, well, it's worthwhile creating the element of surprise. Or on a more serious note, the incarnation or Christ. These are all good things that cannot be realized without an imperfect, finite creation. So God can desire it as a unique good. And I'm sorry at the stilted prose here, but I'm just reading from different screenshots. He can desire it as a unique good without at all subtracting from the perfection of total reality, because it's neither added to nor subtracted from, just like a numerical infinite. And the last thing I said there was, the second to last thing I said, I take the lack of responses, objections to be that there are no good answers to what I'm saying here. And then I made a joke. The room is infinitely perfect without dog. You cannot add or subtract from its perfection. But his comical presence is uniquely good in a certain sense. And so people let dog in the room, even though he really can't do any harm or good to it. It is a uniquely good thing to have dog because he's kind of funny and goofy. And that's something you can't realize with Jack Hangstrike or Philip Muller. Like, it's a different kind of good. So I see that this objection answers their syllogism, their problem, and no responses were forthcoming. Jack was a little cranky, so he's like, well, I don't want to hear this again. But, that's really not his voice, but yeah, Jack, you can't keep dodging, man. You don't want to become the paper champ. I think the atheists are already starting to see it. And the 20-year hunt for the white whale, Darth Dawkins, it's never going to come to fruition. So, Captain Ahab, stop searching and maybe deal with some people above you or on your level. And that's it.